who live with injustice, terror, disease, poverty, hunger, and insecurity as their constant companions. Open our hearts and homes, our gates and doors, so that all may find a welcome place of safety, peace, and freedom, without fear and continued state of diminishing resources for daily survival. Help us recognize your faith in the refuge, the migrant workers, those suffering from addiction, the children and the parents who fight to have enough to eat, to be well, to be home. God of justice, hear our prayer. Let us be your hands and feet today. Amen.
And at this time, I would like to give some of our analysis that has been done by the repairs of the breach, the Yale Institute, along with others. The state of our state, we have handed out to different the media and to people in West Virginia, total enrollees in Medicaid, 472,816. That's 20% of our population. Estimated enrollment loss under this House bill, 75,000 West Virginians will lose their Medicaid. SNAP benefits, total enrollment, 273,522. That's 15% of our population. Funded enrollment, 84,000 people. Death by denial of health care. We've got the statistics on that. We're passing out to everyone. And these things we are delivering to Shelly Moore Capito and to Jim Justice. Hospital apocalypse. We're more heavily in Medicaid, 700 rural hospitals, 338 hospitals, urban hospitals. Taking food from the mouth of the hungry, squeezing states on SNAP. As y'all know, our state is in a deficit or a little bit of a surplus. We can't figure out which one's right, who's telling us the truth on that. But I sure would like the news media to find out. You know, terrorizing immigrant families. They're $170 billion to arrest, detain, and deport immigrants. You know what? That could feed a whole lot of people. That could give a whole lot of people some health care, couldn't it? I could give some child care, couldn't it? You know, I could think if $2 trillion could buy a whole lot, you know. Takes from the poor to give to the rich. And as y'all know, $2 trillion, and then they're going to raise the deficit another $5 trillion before it's all over with. How much blood is worth $2 trillion? Leaving corporations to enjoy their spoils. Left them at the lowest tax rate that there is, a dramatic reduction from 35% pre-2018 rates. Rewarding polluters while raising energy costs, and every one of us in West Virginia know that. Just about every bill we get is raised, or they're asking for a raise, and every utility that we have. Funding wars, enriching more profiteers. That's what a lot of this is about. We went through Halliburton and the merchants and all that. We went through that before. We know where this is leading. We know what's coming. Instead of inflicting policy violence on the most vulnerable, Congress should harness America's abundant wealth to create a moral economy that works for all of us by fairly taxing the wealthy and bring big corporations, reducing our bloated military budget, and demilitarizing immigration policy. We could free up more than enough public funds to ensure we can all survive and thrive. As our country approaches its 250th anniversary, we have justice, domestic tranquility, real security, and a general welfare for all.
Our first speaker had the willingness, the compassion, and the conviction to do this work. Unfortunately, he could not be here, the Reverend Jim Lewis. However, we will read a little short bio of his work and his advocacy. The Reverend Jim Lewis is an Episcopal priest with a long history of social action ministry. As the minister at St. John's Episcopal Church in Charleston, he led the church's involvement in the creation of Manna Meal, as well as the beginning of the West Virginia Women's Health Care Center and Health Right. He was recently arrested at Senator Capito's office while being denied access to her regarding Medicare. So we honor him and thank him for his due diligence, and he is here with us in spirit, and we continue to pray for him as he continues to in his advocacy.
Thank you, Jim Lewis.
Yes, thank you, Jim. Let's give Jim Lewis a round of applause. Give him some hand claps.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim.
I'm going to give it back to Pam Garrison.
At this time, I would like to read the preamble to the West Virginia Constitution, and I encourage, with what's going on, everyone to read your constitutions, state and federal, to know your rights, to know where we stand, to know what we stand for and who we are. Because sometimes I think we need reminded, or a lot of people need reminded. The West Virginia preamble to the Constitution. Since through divine providence, we enjoy the blessings of civil, political, and religious liberty, we, the people of West Virginia, in and through the provisions of this Constitution, reaffirm our faith and constant resilience upon God, and seek diligently to promote, preserve, and perpetuate good government in the state of West Virginia, for the common welfare, freedom, and the security of ourselves and our prosperity.
Yes. Let the sound of our prayers and the clarity of our convictions ring across the South. May every office feel the weight of our witness and the urgency of this moral movement. Right now, we're going to present one of our speakers. Hi, from West Virginia. Lifelong resident of Kanawha County. So without any further ado, I'd like to present to you Ty.
Hello everyone. I was invited here today to tell you about my friend Mo Alvin, who has been in ICE custody. In 10 days from now, will make his 6-month anniversary of being in detention. Mo, as we lovingly call him, came here legally 14 years ago. He has no criminal record. He has worked and received tax refunds every year. He normally works 6 days per week, 8 and 12-hour shifts, doing kitchen work. He has no wife, no children, and no family in this country. He had no idea that there was a problem with his status until ICE showed up at his job in South Charleston, January 25th on a Saturday, and took him away. Mo kindly complied with ICE agents because he respects our government. despite the fact that they do not respect him. He was informed at his booking that he had missed a court date that he never received a notification of. Since then, Mo has been dragged across the country to multiple detention facilities. He was held at South Central for the first week, then transported in a vehicle that is built much like a dog catcher's truck to Pennsylvania. And he was held in a privately owned facility there in Moshannon Valley. He was there for about 1 month, and then he was flown across the country to Karnes County, Texas, where he was held for a few weeks, and then moved yet again to El Val Detention Facility, another privately owned jail in southern Texas, very near the Mexican border. With the help of some community members, I was able to seek legal counsel for Mo. It took over 6 weeks to get access to his Freedom of Information Act records. From that point, the attorney filed a bond hearing. Mo just wanted to self-deport. I wrote a letter agreeing to sponsor him until he was able to get home. I collected notarized letters about his character from his employer and 7 other friends. His hearing was in mid-April. It was held on a video call. They did not ask him questions. He did not get to speak at all. The immigration judge asked the Homeland Security attorney what they wanted him to do, and they said deny his bond, and that is what was done. The reasoning they quoted was that they were close to deporting him. That was 3 months ago. Mo has suffered many acts of inhumanity during his lengthy incarceration, like being fed very small portions of nearly inedible food, witnessing people fighting over food when an inmate would attempt to sneak back through the line to get a second tray. If they were successful, the honest inmates would be angered because they also were still hungry. He has witnessed these same men scraping up a few grains of rice and beans off of multiple dirty trays, scooping it up into the palms of their hands and hiding it in their pockets to sneak it back into the dorms so they could have food to eat later. Every time the detainees have been transported, they are handcuffed, feet shackled, chains around their waist, chains down both legs. One of his transports occurred during a mealtime. ICE passed out sandwiches on the bus. He said everyone looked like a bunch of animals trying to eat because they had to bend over to reach their mouth to their hands.
Tell the truth. That's right.
This is the truth. But above all of this, his mental health has really taken the worst toll. When you are detained, you have no access to your phone. You have no access to the internet. You don't even have access to listen to music. Mo is an avid guitar player, and he takes comfort in music. He is accustomed to getting up and working hard every day, and being proud of making a self-sustaining wage. Now he is trapped in confinement for months and months with thousands of others to live only with his thoughts behind chains and barbed wires. We cannot understand what is taking so long to get him home. I have made multiple calls to ICE, to his consulate, and to many West Virginia politicians, only asking to pay his own way home. Mo isn't asking for a green card. He isn't asking for a citizenship. Mo is a loving, caring man, and anyone who's ever met him would agree with that. This man doesn't own any property. He doesn't drive or own a vehicle. He doesn't have much money in his pocket, but he has a heart of gold in his chest. He does not deserve what this administration has put him through. I thank you for listening to Mo's story today.
Thank you for telling it.